Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk about my research proposal, and my research proposal is going to be about iron supplementation and deficit in women cyclists. So here it's a what's my research question. My research question is, does 18 milligrams per day of iron supplementation in women cyclists improve performance and help not to develop anemia? The null hypothesis is iron supplementation improves the performance of women cyclists and helps them avoid developing iron deficiency or anemia. The alternate hypothesis is iron supplementation does not improve the performance of women cyclists and cause iron deficiency or anemia. Here, what we really know about iron. Well, iron is an important mineral for the body. Iron helps in growth and development and makes hormones. Iron micronutrients can be found in two forms, the M form and non-M iron. Heme iron can be found in meat, seafood, and poultry, and it can have better absorption in the body, where no-hem can be found in iron fortified breakfast cereals, bread, legumes like lentils, beans, peas, and nuts, where the absorption is not the same as the hem. Iron deficiency is more common in women than men. This is because of heavy menstrual bleeding, pregnancy, or postpartum. The World Health Organization defined anemia when the hemoglobin level is less than 12 grams. Heavy exercise can put women's athletes at risk of iron deficiency, and there are some foods that can decrease the iron absorption. These foods can include milk, coffee, tea, and food with calcium containing. Iron deficiency is present in women's athletes and can affect their performance and training load. Based on the current literature review, there are studies that show that female athletes without an appropriate iron supplementation can suffer iron deficiency and anemia. There are different studies for women cycling. When one I, when the iron supplementation was analyzed, one of the studies was made for 3 weeks where iron supplementation was taken for 18 milligrams per day. It was used to evaluate muscle damage and cortisol effects. However, this study was for men, and this occurs on one of the most important races. It calls Vuelta a España. So the cyclist did a blood test 1 week before the start of the race and after 4 weeks of racing. The results were significant between the cyclists who used iron supplementation and those who did not. Iron supplementation helped to prevent hematological parameters and help in the recovery during each stage of the competition. However, the effects in the long term is unknown. Another study compares women and men with and without iron supplementation, and the results is really positive. Female athletes maintain their health at the baseline, and they don't develop iron deficiency or anemia. Athletes that has iron deficiency, they can have a VO2 max low, and this will affect it in her performance. In their performance, they can increase the fatigue, increase heart rate, shortness of breath during the exercise, and it can affect everything about the recovery for the cyclist. So the study design for this research is going to help to prevent the iron deficiency and anemia for women cycling, and it can be amateur to professional level. So women who exercise need more iron supplementation because of the periods of training and time. Knowing these benefits, the iron intake can prevent iron deficiency, anemia caused by exercise. Menstrual cycles and diet improving the health of athletes and helping their bodies to have a better recovery and balance with iron. So the recruitment is going to be conducted via social media and flyers. Social media, we are going to try to contact elite women in the local area, and we are going to send a digital flyer to take talking about the purpose of the study and the benefits that athletes can have with iron supplementation during this study. Flyers are going to be provided at local cycling races where elite women compete and they can be recruited. Um, Additionally, participants will have a waiver of consent of authorization for recruitment purposes. Inclusion and the exclusion criteria. Inclusion, um, they have to be a cisgender women cyclists who compete in amateur or elite level, and the age is 19 to 30 years. The exclusion criteria, we are not going to allow smokers, uh, women with chronic disease, PCOS, endometriosis, or they are taking another medication, and they don't have to be vegetarians or vegans because with this diet they need to take more iron supplementation. Based on G-Power, the study needs to recruit 172 participants and will be divided in two groups. One of these groups they are going to be under iron supplementation, 18 milligrams per day, and the other one without the iron. Both of the groups, they are not going to take any food that they can affect the absorption of iron, and the alpha error from the sample is 0.05 with a power of 0.90. And at the end of the study, all the data are going to measure the difference between women segments who are taking the supplements and the other one that are not taking anything. The study is going to be quantitative. Each participant, as I mentioned, is going to be chosen randomly to compare from each group. In this research, the first group is going to take the iron supplementation, and the other one no. All the participants are going to do a VO2 max at the end of the month, and every week they are going to do a blood test. And all the data is going to be at Training Peaks. Training Peaks is an app where you can see all your heart rate, monitor the distance, the speed. You can control more your training. The dietitian and the physician are the only ones that are going to check the data. Everything is going to be private. And what does mean VO2 max? Well, VO2 max is the maximum capacity to transport and consume oxygen, producing energy, and the test will show you the cardiovascular ability to utilize oxygen on the muscles and how much oxygen the athletes are able to breathe in. So the VO2 max is going to take place at the San Diego Olympic Center, same as the blood test every week. There is not compensation to the participants because VO2 max and blood test will have a high cost. However, at least we can get benefits because they are going to have a well-structured training plan, and every VO2 max has a cost of $150 to $200, and they are going to do three times the VO2 max to check their performance. So the risk that they can have the participants who are taking iron supplementation, they can have nausea, vomiting, constipation, diarrhea, flatulence, metallic taste, and epigastric distress. That's the more common symptoms, and this can be risky for all the research because the comparison is not going to be the same, and the research are not going to be responsible for any risk or harm that cyclists can suffer during the training on the road, because as I mentioned, the women are going to have the follow-up training plan, and they can do it by, the, by where they live. So all the data collected from the VO2 max, the blood test, and training that was provided via Training Peaks will address the research question. The research question are if iron supplementation has a performance impact in cyclists, and the other one is if there is any difference between women that take iron supplementation and the other ones that not take any supplementation. After 3 months of training, VO2 max and blood test, the group who didn't take iron supplementation, the 18 milligrams per day, they can be affected, having a negative impact on their performance, hemoglobin levels, recovery, health of the athletes. This is because some of the research mentioned that women that they don't take the correct supplementation of iron, they can have deficits, and additionally, if they are not taking the correct diet and food, they can suffer a negative impact on health. Thank you so much. I hope you like my presentation.